be married and you may not want to be with the person anymore. Or it's been a long-term relationship and you don't want to be with the person anymore. And it's not because of anything that, well, let me not say that, but I'm not getting that it's any conflict. I think you guys just grew apart, but we'll see. I mean, is it just because you don't see yourself being with this person? Okay. Maybe you feel like you've been married for a while and I don't know, maybe you got married when you were young and life is so different and the world is so different. There's so many different people, there's so many different ways to be more expressive than it was more, I guess, in your time that you were younger when you got married. Or you may be, you know, just a young person who's already, with the house, picket fence, vacations, multiple kids, and for that matter, you may feel like you, not gonna say rushed, but like you love the person you're with, and this is kind of already splitting into two, right? So on one side we have one person who, I mean, I think both parties so far, yeah, the love is there. So for one party, the love is there, and you just don't want to work on it anymore. You just don't want to be involved anymore because you want to see what's out there. Um, then for another, you love the person you're with, you just feel like you guys ended up having kids a little too early or getting, um, I guess, settled down a little bit too early. You feel like you could have traveled, you guys could have, seen a bit more. Not that you don't, but before your kids, which you are not in regret about, or you might be pregnant right now, because I don't know, that energy keeps coming up. Yeah, somebody wants to walk away, and you gave it thought. You feel like you don't want to be held hostage in a situation where you, it gets to a point where you're older and not that you can't leave, but at that point in your mind, it's like, what sense does it make, unless, your significant other passes away, then, I mean, or it gets to the point where it's really, really that bad, but what would be the sense to just wait knowing what you know now to then end up in the same situation later on in life? Yeah. I don't know if it's that you've had a lot of patience or you should have patience. Okay, so you thought about this, you're not in your head or on guard about it. I mean, you've already made up your mind in a sense to the point that you're just obsessed with the outcome so that way you can freely, I I guess, exist how you feel and know you should be existing or living, you know. And you are emotional about it because, again, you do care about this person. This is not a, well, again, I'm gonna wait and see, but so far, yeah, and you keep it to yourself that you don't want to be there or you don't want to be married. You know what I mean? That's like the one thing that you just keep to yourself away from everyone because you feel like people would just kind of, of course, support you because everyone that you're surrounded with supports what you feel like is best for you. You don't tend to keep those type of people around who's not. But I don't know. There's things happening here. I feel like if that does happen and you guys do take a break or you guys do separate for a bit, even divorce, however it may be, I think that you guys are gonna go um, a little bit separate, and you guys are gonna end up back together later on in life. Yeah, but then there's you guys that it won't happen that way, and you're okay with that. But there's gonna be like a lot of emotion, and this person might show emotion that you may or say things or you're gonna be like, whoa, like they're really gonna come and try to offer you and say no, we can make this work. They're gonna fight you on this. And it's not about like fighting you in court for the money. They just understand how valuable you are, and like I said, there hasn't been any infidelity. I mean, you guys both respectfully could have options. Like he could go out and be on some shit. But he's just a respectable person, and he expects how the same respect that he gets in life. He likes to respect people as well. So he is respectful to his life. What matters most, family. I don't know. But it's just something about it that's just not working. Or maybe there is something that's there and you can do and be what it is you want to be, you know, um, without holding on to the idea that you just have to, it's going to be a fight. Maybe have the conversation, you know, that you maybe want to open yourself up more. Maybe you want to open up your bedroom. And maybe not necessarily with him, but maybe with him, maybe with her, maybe with other people. But whatever it is that you want to do, if it's a possibility where you guys can speak about it, because I don't think this is like just about sex. This is just about you feeling like you never had that chance. Now, we can't have our cake and eat it too. And so I'm just letting you know now, if this is something that you want and you want to push for, it's gonna ruffle some stuff up. It's gonna cause a lot of jealousy. I mean, even if you come out of the situation thinking that, you spoke to him about him or her about the situation and they're okay with that, it's like when you're out or wherever you are, even if you're at work, they're gonna think that you're out with somebody else, okay? So they're gonna become very obsessed, and they're gonna want to retract everything that they said because they know how valuable you are to them. They love you, they care about you. You guys have established a great lifestyle to get there, but they're not going to want to do it after the first time. So if you ask and they say yes, it won't be a lifestyle for you. You know how some people have the conversation and it becomes a lifestyle? It's not going to be that. Yeah, it's just he's not gonna want to deal with it. But he's not gonna want to also lose you at the same time. He just doesn't want you to just, he just may say, or she may just say, look, have your one moment or time and do what it is you gotta do. But they're still gonna be on guard. And honestly, I feel like they may be open to, after that first time, what it might be is, instead of it being like, oh no, don't do it, because they don't want to run the risk of losing you. And they do understand at a certain point. I don't know if this person is older than you and maybe you were younger when you guys got married, or you guys are the same age, but they understand that you guys, you know, they understand, they lived the life with you, so they're there with you every day. So you bringing it up, it's not something that's gonna, you know, throw anything off kilter. It's just you having to be able to have that conversation, because it's either you're gonna just up and change your whole life just to see what's out there. You know what I mean? I I don't have any words for that, because I am not here to judge anybody. Do whatever you feel like you need to do to make yourself happy or to complete your journey here. You never know who it is that we have agreed or have contracts with to meet outside of love and intimacy, or family, or friends. So sometimes chance encounters open up other aspects of our human experience. With that being said, on one hand, that's what it might be. You might have to risk, you know, switching everyone's lives around because of what it is that you want. Then you're going to have to also be able to have that conversation. If you feel like you don't want to do the first option, you're going to have the conversation with your partner to let them know, hey, this is how I've been feeling, and it's nothing going on with you, and I love you and I care about you, and this is absolutely where I want to be. But we're getting older and we've been married. It's not even about the amount of time we've been married and living together. It's about the age I was. I was young, and life has become what it's become. So I just don't want to end the situation with you, but I do want to at least try to work on, how can I say? You want to experiment. Like, let's just say that. You get what I'm saying? And that the person is, it's not even about not being attracted. It's not even about not being sexually attracted to the person. It's not that they don't want to, give to them, and it's not going to affect how you're going to interact with them. It's not about a money thing or you wanting attention from other people. It's just something you've been feeling for a while, and you just want to see what's out there. You don't want them to think you're being sneaky, and you don't want it to bring any problems to you guys' home. And you don't want them to think that they're leaving away because you know that you're good where you're at. But at the same time, you do know your person, and you know that they mentally and logically, they just don't play. It's not even about mentally and logically, but you know how they think is what I mean. And you know that the same way they feel that you're such a good person, that they're also a good person as well. You just want to have a new beginning. You don't want other options. It's not about you being sneaky, but it will require both of you guys to be strong in the situation. You're not going out here giving anything to anyone else or taking care of anybody or like trying to be a sugar mama or a sugar daddy to nobody. But it would be a new experience for the both of you guys. This is not about you wanting to do anything to hurt them. This is just about you wanting to explore. Um, and that you're not going to have any new beginnings or any emotional attachments to anyone else. Which is hard to say, but you feel like you are in tune with your emotions, and you know where home is home, so you're just going to bring it home. It's not about that. It's just about getting out there, seeing what it is. Of course, you're saying you're going to be social, but you're not going to be emotionally attached. This is not about you trying to go rekindle anything that may have been in existence before both of them. I mean, both of you guys. And you might be saying to the person, like, I and literally want to just try it. Like, the minute that I see that it's messy, the minute that I see, like, too much is going on, or you're telling the person the minute that they feel like it's messy or that there's too much going on or you're doing too much, then you could say what you need to say about it because they're not going to want to deal with that. But like I said, they care about you and y'all have been together for a while. So even though they're not going to be feeling it, um, they love you. So, you know, like it's really what on some what makes you happy. But when you're out and dealing with other people, they're going to hope that they're going to be very emotional and they're going to hope that they don't see you in the light that they see you in, which is kind of funny. But they're not going to be aggressive about it towards you. It's not going to affect anything. And maybe this is for somebody that's not married. They're not going to treat you differently. It's not going to be like, oh, well, since you got so and so you dating too, let them take you out. It's stuff like dumb stuff. They're not going to do that. But I feel like you're going to change your perspective once you get out there. And you're going to risk, like, not risk, you're going to see that there's really no need to risk what you put the work in and that you're good where you're at. And that's just that. And you have the person that you need to have, that you love to have, that's yours, and you are theirs. And that you're fortunate. And at least you know that once you sense that, and I think that's another thing that also, once you sense that, you're going to skedaddle, okay? It's not going to be something that's going to be like, okay, I put my hand in the fire, I felt the heat, and no, you're going to just be like, okay, let's wrap that up. That's not for me. And this is like, again, more so for the people that are married. The couples who are not married and you guys have just been together for a long time, it will cause your relationship to end. So I would be a little careful with that. Honestly, I didn't even mean to do a love reading. I was just seeing what was out there. It's just like, I should label this like poly or something. I don't know. Because sometimes I feel like people are really looking for different stuff with different titles so you know what it is that you're finding. Okay. So yeah. You're gonna oh, this is so cute. So maybe the person that you're with, like your person, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your lover, maybe they, when you guys go out, they're very attentive to you, right? So anything, you know, opening doors, when your feet hurt, it's like, okay, stay right here. I'm gonna go get the car. Like you're treated so well, For my guys, you have your day when it's all about you. Your wife got everything laid out, facials, massage, everything. Like just whatever it is to make you feel like you're that one, which obviously you are because you're getting the correct treatment. Yeah, you're not gonna see. I don't know now who this is because yeah, you're not gonna want to be out with other people. Like you're gonna want to explore, but then you're gonna come to realize like I actually want to explore with you. And that might actually make them feel better. And it's crazy because I think it's gonna get you guys confirmation. Absolutely. I think it's gonna make you guys get closer and kind of closer in that bestie bro, like this is my guy and this is my best guy friend. like that, because that is something attractive too. When, I don't know, some people, because men can feel the same way, but I think people get kind of upset when they discover that their partner has a sexual preference or I don't know, a kink. I don't know why I'm going here right now. A kink. Or they have a type and you're like, what the hell? I never even would have thought that that's somebody you would like why? You know what I mean? I think that that's kind of cool to talk to my partner about. Also, to be fair, I'm just not going to be biased to say that I'm also bisexual. So that for me might be a little bit different. But for the people that are here and this is your reading, you're obviously open to trying different things. Or you've already tried other stuff and um, once you got married, everything just became about work, life, everyday routine. So, yeah, for the people that this is where how you're feeling and where you're at, where you want to open up. I think once you go out there and your partner's like, you know what, okay, cool, go on your little date, whatever. They fake acting like they're not upset, but they are, but they're still being supportive. I think once you step out and you see like, yeah, I might just prefer to do this with the person that I'm with. And I think they're, like I said, you guys are gonna be open to what it is that you guys enjoy, or however it can work out, or to at least try. But be careful because when you add how many ever, three's a party, or what is it? Is it two's a party, three's a crowd, or is it three's a party, four's a crowd? I have no idea. I think it's the first one. It felt better. Um, Yeah, there's not gonna be conflict though. It's just that you guys honestly, not, like, okay, so there's not gonna be conflict with you guys. But I think what it is that the people that you may engage with, they may be like really into the both of you guys. And you guys are gonna have to like, put ends. Like, you guys basically gonna be like, oh no, you gotta go. So it was great seeing you, and people are literally gonna be calling you like, hey y'all, like, do y'all wanna hang out? Do y'all wanna chill? How have y'all been? I mean, I'm not trying to like put y'all on the map and out there, but y'all set up right financially. So I feel like one of y'all either will or has gotten to the point where you're like, should we just pay them? But then you're like, no. But then the other person's like, no, because that's technically considered, you know what? So, God, you guys are funny. You guys are funny. Yeah, you guys are gonna be putting them out after y'all are done. Oh my goodness. And it's gonna it's gonna be like a little treat too because it's gonna be like you guys are gonna take care of everything. I mean, bills, kids, everything, like snacks on top of snacks, like activities, everything. Like it's gonna be so funny because it's gonna be like when you do your chores and then you get to go and play on the weekend or whatever or do whatever it is you want. It's gonna kind of come out like that. Everybody gonna be walking around. When I say everybody, I really mean you and that person. Y'all gonna be walking around whistling, singing and stuff, like dancing while y'all paying bills and getting stuff done early in the week. Like it's gonna be fun, and y'all are gonna go to date night. Y'all are gonna travel and do a lot of stuff, and you're gonna see a different side to each other. But yeah, I don't think if this is somebody that is listening felt the need to walk away to do that, I don't think it's worth it. And I get it. You feel like you could still take care of yourself financially if you have kids. I don't know. For this particular reason, I mean situation, I feel like you guys don't have kids. Okay. For this particular situation, I feel like you guys don't have kids. Um, that's considering walking away. I feel like you guys don't have kids. So in your mind, you're like, yeah, I can still like, my overhead, whatever, whatever. For those that are married, I feel like you guys are gonna have that conversation, and like that's your initial response. Like, I want to talk about this, but I don't know how to bring it up. But what I'm saying is, I think for both parties, you should definitely talk about it, because for the first party, I think it's better for you to try to at least talk about it prior to, just, because I don't think you're gonna be happy after that, and I don't think you're really not gonna be satisfied. Like, it's gonna be a fleeting moment, a fleeting thing. Um, yeah. Even though it's gonna be, um, and like I said, it came back down to it saying that I think that even if you guys were to separate, you guys would end up back together, because this is really your person. Um, I don't know if that's what you're questioning, but this is really a person. So I think if you feel like this my person, is this my person, this is your person, and it's not because you guys have been together for this long. This is really who you're meant to be with. But I think you should just open it up a little bit to say, hey, let's have a conversation. For the person or the group that feels like they want to have the conversation, but they know how their person is and they could be a little sharp tongued, and they just don't play. You're not trying to ruffle no feathers, start nothing up, have this person thinking that you out here cheating and doing all this other stuff. Have the conversation though. You feel me? Because just like you said, this person is, earlier in the reading when it came up that your partner is, mentally quick and very logical. That's the best thing you can do with this person. And I feel like you know that, because that's obviously your person. But in this circumstance, is something that is so taboo and off topic for the norm when it comes to, being married and, having a partner, especially long term, right? So, yeah, have the conversations, get a little uncomfortable, see what it turns out to be. And I think you guys will be in a good space and a good place. But protect yourselves. And I think it's safe also to say that if you're doing this with your person, at least you guys know you can, watch each other's back.